Just checking it out. See how ridiculous I look. I won't wear this color anymore.
Good evening, everyone. This is Robert with the world-renowned Mr. Texas Real Estate. This is the Texas Real Estate Radio Network. I'm joined by Alex from Jet Lending. Say hello, Alex.
Hello, Alex.
Hey, let's get right into it right now. Give them the phone number, how they find you, all that good stuff.
Check us out on website, jetlending.com. You can call us or text us at 281-872-7800. You can email us at info@jetlending.com.
So go to jetlending.com. So Jet Lending is obviously a lender. I'm going to say your specialty is going to be hard money, but you do other types of lending. How's the hard money market these days?
It's great. Don't let the naysayers fool you about like there's no deals. We did about 35 loans last month alone. And there's plenty of deals. About, I'd say 6 of those were $0 out of pocket for our people.
Nice.
So people are still getting deals. Go out there and negotiate.
Mm-hmm. We're looking at a 7.5 cap. We're looking at 5 duplexes. We're looking at a couple single families. Yeah, there are definitely deals out there. It's we don't mind the naysayers. They're just, more than likely they are the people that would just muck up the deal anyway and not close on it, right?
Yeah.
And make it harder for you to close when you come behind them.
Yeah. That's actually hell. That's actually that. There's a lot of that out there.
Yeah, there's a lot of guys that muck up the deal, right?
Yeah.
It's like, they've never done a deal before, they're too cautious, or they think, hey, I listened to this guru, and I'm not supposed to be paying this much, and I'm supposed to be getting my contractor for, $6 an hour, and wait, what? How much I got to pay for tile? It's like, nah, bro, it doesn't work that way.
Right.
So, how much of your time or your guys' time, your loan officer's time is vetting deals, working with clients and new clients?
It's quite a bit. And I mean, even with the seasoned people that are coming in, as soon as you got a deal under contract or no, we comp it, we analyze it. We'll actually even do a profit estimate analyzer for you. So you can say, hey, this is what your loan would look like. This is how much you're projecting. We close 3 days from clear to close from title and appraisal report back in anyway. Is this the profit margins for you to keep in business? Do you want to do this deal? So they are, I'd say, a good 80% of their day is analysis.
Wow. That's a lot.
Yeah.
That's a lot. How many newbies are you getting? What's the mix, you think?
The mix, I mean, I'd say we're doing about I'd say a good 40, 50%.
You're very friendly to new folks.
Yeah. And then the people that are seasoned, I mean, they're usually getting anywhere from 4 to 10 deals a year, especially if you're a whole person. And I mean, so they're like clockwork. But we are gathering quite a bit of new people.
Good.
Just because, it's a good $0 pocket out of way to do business if you're buying them right.
Where are they finding their deals?
Well, you'd be surprisingly, 2-3 years ago, MLS was not a place to get deals. Mm-hmm. There's enough people out there that are listing properties that don't know how to analyze distressed real estate. These people are negotiating. So MLS is one area. Another area is, people are just getting into like mentor groups and stuff like that and learning from the people that have been successful on how they acquire real estate. So more and more people nowadays I've seen have been joining teams of people for education to broaden their scope of understanding.
Yep. Well, we offer one of those. I think we're probably doing about 80% off the MLS. Mm-hmm. Now, we've got enough track record where we'll get it's an MLS deal, but we're getting the phone call before it's listed.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, I'm about to put something up on the MLS. You guys interested? I'll send it over to you right now. It's like, yeah, send it over. And like, they'll put it up at 180, and we're like, before they even put it up at 180, we're like, we're all at 152. Mm-hmm. If you can do 152, the deal's done, right?
Yeah.
They go in at 180, and then within 4 days, hey, we're good at 152. Great. Let's send over the contract.
I mean, you're absolutely right, and you forge those relationships by doing deals on MLS to get those what would be considered pocket listings or things that are about to come out. People, there are deals out there. Don't just say, "Oh, they're asking too much." That's just the start of the negotiation.
Yeah.
Let's start talking. Nobody wants to sell real estate. They have to. Grandma died. I'm moving to Jersey. Whatever it is.
Yeah.
Find out what the problem
them.
is and solve the problem.
We just got under contract a 900 square foot house probably up about 12 feet off the ground with a bonus apartment underneath. But here's the thing, and 2 full boat slips for 152.
Oh, that's pretty sweet.
2 full boat slips we're like, we're going to rent 1 boat slip and we're going to rent the other, and one of those boat slips are going to come with the captain's quarters.
Right.
So you can crash on land right there, take a shower, hot shower, all that stuff, cook a meal rather than doing it on your boat, and then we're going to keep the upstairs as an Airbnb.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so we ran those numbers, and with no offense intended,
But
I would call this little town, this little honey hole here, like redneck heaven.
yeah,
It's boat slips, it's fishing docks,
it's money,
and it's a one store that just sells beer, right? It was like, I'm driving through this, I'm like, oh my God, this is heaven for these people, right?
beer flavored beer.
Beer. It's like live bait and beer, right? It's like perfect little store, and then there's fishing docks and boat slips and a bunch of tiny houses that people were decking out and making it their little summer retreat, right? Their man cave, their home away from home. So we bought it, and Travis is with us now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So the only reason we bought it is Travis is like, hey, I have all the hardy board we need for this. I've got extra from a job. So I'm like, all right. So he might be calling you for that deal. It's actually his deal. So we'd love to get your guys' eyes on that one.
And that's one thing. Everybody that listens to the show, take heed of the success Robert and Jason have had from Airbnbs. Some people are still like, well, it's not like, on the beach. It's not. There is a wealth of money to be made in Airbnbs. We lend short and long term to Airbnbs.
Sure.
You guys have to diversify your portfolios. This is a diversification you should pay attention to.
We have an Airbnb in the Energy Corridor. It's one of our best.
Yeah.
I have an Airbnb in Texas City that hands down is my best Airbnb.
Yeah, and I mean, yeah, can you go to Kima? I guess, but it's not there.
It's 80% full,
Yeah,
80% solid every month. All right, hey, Alex, give them their contact information again.
Go to jetlending.com to do everything online, pre-approval letters, and get your deals done. You can call or text 281-872-7800. You can always email info@jetlending.com.
Fantastic. And if I'm a new beginner, what's your starting hard money rate?
You're looking at we don't have floors or caps on those, but you're looking at anywhere from 9.9 to 11.9%. Interest-only payments with no prepayment penalties.
Nice.
You're at 2 to 4 points of origination, depending on if it's commercial or the risk of the deal.
So you're between 2 and 10 and 4 and 12.
Yep, and we do not have credit score minimums. If you have the capital to do it, and this is a good deal, we believe in you enough to do it.
So 2 and 10, where the floor is coming down a little bit in this marketplace, and I knew that it would have to. We're going to talk more about that when we come back. This is Robert with the world-renowned Mr. Texas Real Estate, joined by Alex from Jet Lending. Once again, what's that in the phone number, Alex?
It's 281-872-7800.
Excellent. Give those guys a call for all your lending needs. Hang tight, guys. We will be back.
No. Don't worry, you're beautiful. Don't worry.
Oh, I'm just sweating. I come down here, I'm like, God damn, it's hot. And then I realize I just pounded this coffee. I'm just caffeine sweats.
Oh, man.
Any plans for the weekend?
No, hopefully no.
Hanging out in the treehouse?
Yeah, I just like to just go home and not do anything. But however, that's probably not. I may go to Saturday jiu-jitsu class.
Gotcha.
But
I've been vigorously skimming the pool. I'm like, I'm going to spend Saturday in the pool. So I'm coming home, getting all the mosquito sex that's on top of it, all the bug sex that sits on top of the water. We're getting all that taken care of.
We it was great because our pool's done, but so me and the girls on Saturday and Sunday we'll spend anywhere from 5 to 8 hours in the pool. It's outside.
Yeah.
So the pool makes the summers bearable here, man.
Absolutely. The only way.
The only way.
The only way. I remember when I was looking for. God, bring us in. I remember looking for properties, and Audra was my agent. Hey, welcome back. It's Robert from the world-renowned Mr. Texas Real Estate. I'm here with Alex from Jet Lending. Alex, what's the phone number again? Let's get your phone number out there.
You can call or text 281-872-7800.
And go to jetlending.com if you want to start submitting your projects online. So I can remember when I moved here, the agent was like, so is there anything you want? I was like, a pool. Mm-hmm. And she's like, what if I find a house without a pool? I'm like, nope, I want a pool.
Yeah.
She's like, well, you could put a pool in. I'm like, nope, no. I want a pool.
Yeah.
I want a pool that's working, and I want a pool inspection on the pool. So, I made her jump through a few hoops, but my pool is huge.
Yeah.
It's a nice big pool, and we got enough room to actually spill it up and make a little thing. But I can't imagine not having a pool here.
This is the first year we've had it, and it actually made the summer bearable.
Oh, it's great, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so we're talking about the marketplace. So, so I originally did a lot of work in California. And hard money in California was a standard 2 points and 9%. Mm-hmm. 2 points and 8.99. It was everywhere you look, that's where it was. And it's because of the market. Because it's the fortune builder formula.
Right.
So it's, 75% minus repairs. And then look how much money you're actually going to make. And can you cut that in half? Can you take half the profit? Because you're flipping an $800,000 house. So even at 20% on an $800,000 house, it's $160,000. Like, hey, would you be happy with $100,000?
Right.
So now we've got an extra $60,000 to play with. Now we can go up to 82%. Right. And so a lot of that out there was just being pushed by the market. So where are you guys on that loan to value number?
So we are at 70% loan to value, and I'm glad that you brought that up because a lot of people will always look at rate, but not term.
Yeah, term is the main.
Term is the more important thing because Texas is a unique state. Texas, we are a loan to value state. You got to watch out for like 75% or 80% loan to value when you have a loan to cost rider. So that means that you're coming out of pocket no matter what, no matter how sweet of a deal you're getting. If you do loan to cost in the beginning with a loan to value rider, the only time the loan to value really comes into play is if your repairs exceed the loan amount. And so you have to do the math to see what is projecting you better profit margins on your rate and term.
So here's what that sounds like to the new flipper. Yeah, we do 75% loan to value on a 90-100 split. Or an 80-80 split, or a 90-90 split, and you don't listen to the split part, that doesn't make any sense to you. You just know that, hey, if the deal's $500,000, well, these guys are going to be putting in $375,000. They're going to 75% of that, right? But what you didn't hear was the 90-90, which means we're only going to pay 90% of the cost of the property, and we're only going to pay 90% of the construction on the property. Now, most national lenders will give 100% on the construction, but I've never seen any one of them go above 90% on the cost.
No.
So now you're looking at 75%, up to 75%. So you're going to get your full construction loan, but let's say you're buying it for $300,000 and you have a $50,000 rehab budget. You're coming up with $30,000 plus points, plus closing, plus advance payments and insurance payments and all that other stuff. And next thing you know, on a $350,000 project, you're out of pocket 20%.
Yeah.
You got $70,000 you're bringing to closing.
Right.
Because you didn't hear that 90, 90, 80, 100 and all that stuff. You guys are true LTV lenders, right?
Yes, in Texas. So like a lot of times you'll hear these.
Hold on. What does that mean in Texas? Where else are you?
I can lend in all 50 states.
Gotcha. Okay.
Okay. But those bank lines are.
Wait. You can lend in all 50 states with your own lines of credit from Texas, or are you going to use...
No, the lines of credit from Texas are for Texas.
Okay, gotcha.
My lines of credit outside of Texas are backed by like Wall Street and funds.
Yep.
So they and most other states are loan to cost states.
Gotcha.
So there will be loan to cost in other states.
Understood. But here in Texas, you're straight up loan to value.
Loan to value.
Yep, that's great. When you guys going to 75?
Actually, I'm doing a project with Eddie on the math on the bank line to see how we can do that, especially for holds and stuff. So again, I mean, this is all basic math and how do you protect your line? How do you protect your borrower? So we're always working on projects. It's like a little R&D component that we have in the back saying, does this make sense? Does this, on average, if they're holding this over X amount of months,
Right.
do they get hurt by doing this? Do we get hurt by doing this? So we're always working on new projects and new programs. So you'll be seeing some things coming out from us.
Well, one of the benefits that I add to my team is that I've seen this sort of market run in California. And we went from 70% LTV or 75% with a cost in there, all the way up to hard money guys lending up to 82%. And so every time I'm on here talking, or every time I talk to a hard money lender, I'm like, where are you at now? 70. When are you going to 75? Because at some point the market's going to demand it.
Right.
Right? There are deals now, but I see a really tough 36 to 48 months of how do we flip on a standard, buy it, and just renovate it. Now, there's going to be add-ons. There's going to be add the garage and the bonus apartment above the garage, that type of thing. But on that sort of standard, I'm buying this 3-bedroom, 2-bath at 200, and I need to put 50 in, and the value is 340, 350. It may not work on the numbers, but for the flipper, hey, I'm going to still make 40 grand on this, right?
Well, my question to the flipper is, if you're buying deals where you need 82%, is it really a deal?
Sure.
Did you look at your property? Because I'll do a video on this, and I'll say, did you pay yourself back your out-of-pocket expenses? Did you pay yourself back the interest payments you paid to your lender? Did you pay yourself back the HOA fees, the utility fees, the pool maintenance fees? All these things, your second closing. Did you do a 3% seller's contribution to closing? Did you calculate all those fees that you had out and pay yourself back? What's your net profit after that? If you're at 82% loan to value, your margin has now shrunk because you owe your lender back more. My question is, are you needing this because you're trying to buy things for more than you normally did? Do you need to change your business strategy? I don't know, but these are the questions I want people to have in their head. Why would I want more money while I'm paying that interest on it?
So that's going to push out all the newbies. That's not going to qualify. But here's the person you're going to run into. Alex, I'm a contractor. My wife's an agent. And we're going to make a lot of money on this because I'm going to keep my construction going, and she's going to make her 3% on this buy. She's going to make 3% on the sale. So in all that, yeah, we're going to make money, and we can go all the way up to 82%.
Yeah, and then that works for that model. And that's why it's nice, like, not just to talk about jet lending, but when you have like a local lender who underwrites in-house and doesn't have to worry about like Wall Street, you can make that argument. We can make those decisions today for people that we really know and trust.
We talk about it, Jason and I, like, people like, well, do you teach flipping in the mastermind? It's like, we don't want to teach flipping. The only exception I would make is if we found that couple, the contractor agents, like, you two are going to be rock stars. Let me show you how to do that.
Yeah.
That I would do. And that's really what it came down to in California. These guys were almost all of them had a construction background. There weren't fortune builder folks just picking up deals, even at 2 points and 9%. It just was too tight. Hey, this is Robert, and working here with Alex from Jet Lending. Alex, giving your information one more time.
Call or text 281-872-7800. Email info@jetlending.com or see us at jetlending.com.
And we appreciate you guys being sponsors on the show. I am personally appreciative of what you and Eddie and Johnny have done for me and my wife. I think we've, over the years, have borrowed tens of millions of dollars from you guys, and it has absolutely changed our lives. So I do want to say thank you and acknowledge you guys for sure. Hang tight. We'll be back. Oh. Yeah, we're getting out of all your loans. So I'm like, hey, man, this is going away. This is going away. It's like, holy cow, look how much money I have with Jet. Yikes.
You got to
pay this back.
Oh, and then the thing is, and then you guys, we're always prepared for when you guys have like those big deals. So we already, if you guys ever needed anything.
Well, I got a 2.7 $7 million project coming up I might want to take a look at.
Okay.
It's a 7.5 cap.
The thing is, with you guys, it's easy. You guys know how to run a business. You guys know how to pay your bills. You guys know how to manage a project.
Yeah.
I mean, it's easy.
Our only problem is our growth gets in the way.
Well, and
that's our issue here.
What is hard for us if you had a new guy trying to do that $2 million deal.
Yeah, no.
It's a risk.
Yeah.
You know, so, but that's for you guys. It's pretty easy.
Third segment. Hey, welcome back, everyone. This is Robert with the world-renowned Mr. Texas Real Estate, joined by Alex from Jet Lending, jetlending.com. Give him the phone number, Alex.
Call or text 281-872-7800.
So before we went to the break, I just wanted to acknowledge that Jet Lending has been a personal boon in my life, and certainly mine and my wife's. We've done over $10 million in loans with you guys. We're super appreciative. And now at the point where the values are high, we're refining things out, and we're, instead of having to sell stuff because the values are now so high, we're able to keep it. Mm-hmm. And that is adding to our personal portfolio. And we've talked about it many, many times on the show. But we're, between my wife and I, we're going to hold about 75 doors. Mm-hmm. And it's in 2 years. All way, way cheap now, and you guys were a big part of that. So, again, thank you for all that.
No problem. You guys make it easy.
Well, we try. We don't miss payments, right? Yeah. A little late sometimes because Jason forgets to come to your office, but other than that, we're good. All right, but there is a market change happening, right? And we believe that it is sustainable, that this is absolutely going to keep growing, and it's getting leaner, right? And so 70% loan to value. I'm curious to see when this market shifts to 75. And I don't mean to put any pressure on you guys or say that you're not there, because you are. You're right where the market needs to be at this point. But I believe in that next year, we're going to be all looking for 75%.
Yeah, I mean, so we always have our fingers on the pulse of what's going on, and that's why we're working on those products to see how does it make sense? Because when Jet Lending gives you your term sheet in that first 24 hours, nothing changes. Your rates don't change. Yep. Your points don't change.
Oh,
your
really?
terms don't change.
You don't change the rates right before closing?
No.
Wow, that's amazing.
And we've never missed a closing. So for me, I have to make sure is if I offer somebody something, they have to know that I'm there 100%. If I know about this going to that.
Stop.
Yeah.
I have to let everyone know how important what he just said was. That when he gives you the term sheet, it doesn't change.
No.
Listen, for the first 5 years of my career, that was every time. Mm-hmm. Almost every hard money lender I used out in California would change the term or change the rates 24 hours or 48 hours before closing.
And then you have this hard decision. So the one that's we tell them, say, if these rates and terms don't work on your 24-hour estimate, tell us what does so we can help you.
Right, figure out a way.
Even if I have the new product at 98%, that's not good enough for our borrowers. My borrower needs to know that if he's coming in with a $1.7 million deal and it's closing Friday, Jet will always be there to fund that deal.
My God, you guys, and there's a lot of you watching, you've been through this. The joke around here is that, right now in this market, if I just hit a 9-iron, I'll more than likely hit a hard money lender, right? Just anywhere in Houston, just swing it and I'll hit someone who's a lender because money's flowing so much. But it's the same thing why people give us deals over other investors, because you guys close.
Yeah,
you close, and it's again. I didn't mean to interrupt you, but man, having a hard money guy who actually comes to the table, closes when they're supposed to close at the rate and the same terms as they stated is rare. Mm-hmm. Very, very rare in this business. So
we've been doing it for 17 years. 18 will be in January.
Yeah, I do have a problem with that, though. Eddie should have been done a long time ago, right? I mean,
he's never going to be done.
He's never quitting. He's never stopping. So it's probably just not enough golf courses for him, right? Not enough fishing holes, not enough hunting blinds.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, and we made it so efficient now that, I mean, Well,
why would you stop? Right?
Yeah, so I mean, hell,
got a money tree.
we lost Johnny to Mississippi State baseball in Omaha for like a month, but we can do it anywhere.
Yeah. That's where you know you have a business.
Yeah.
Right? That's when you're actually running a business. When it operates, it makes more money when you're not there than when you're there. That's a great big telltale.
Yeah.
All right, so tell us, where are the hot markets? Where are you seeing a lot of the flips happening?
Flips. You are still, I mean, Galveston is still pretty hot. And then I do like the Texas City area. Katy, it's been kind of, expensive on the purchase side. So just, watch your purchase price.
Sure.
We are actually starting to see more and more outskirts with acreage in the last 12 to 18 months,
Like
especially
Magnolia.
Yep.
Yep.
You're on an acre. There's no HOA. Bigger like pieces of land, but if you guys are going to go out on the outskirts, do not find a 7,000 square foot lot on the outskirts. It has to be.
It's like an 1,800 square foot lot in Houston, right?
Right.
Yes.
So it's get some land if you can, because usually your comparables are lacking for those smaller lots in those areas. And then you still have some hot box stuff in the fifth that's up and coming in the transitioning areas. I got a lot of good Airbnb stuff. They're not flips. Third Ward, but if it's priced right now, it's gone.
Yeah.
We only I didn't see the report for this month, but we have 16,000 and change actives.
Yep.
It wasn't an increase since June from 14, but it's still below in the mid 20s and low 30s.
Yeah.
So we're still in a seller's market.
And I think we'll be here for a while. I think there was pent up demand, and now there's not enough housing starts. There's not enough housing starts on the Grand Parkway to pull people out so that we can buy the inner city stuff, the inner loop stuff, and move the numbers up. Right? There's just not enough in that sort of cycle. How about add-ons? Are people doing add-ons?
Yeah, I haven't seen an increase of add-ons. My suggestion, just remember, if you're buying a house with an add-on, if it has an exterior door and windows in the living room to the next room, please don't do that. Make it look like it's seamless with the house if you're going to command the extra square footage. Okay. If you you'll see this kitchen with an exterior window into like a new room
hold on.
with drop
you're
ceilings.
From the Northeast, that sunroom in front of the living room, right?
Oh yeah.
Someone just drops a duct there and makes it conditioned space, and all of a sudden it's another bedroom or a little space, right? And we're in right. I mean, you know that house, right?
Yeah. So I mean, if you're adding the garage and the garage is 18 inches below the rest of the house, don't do that.
That's the house we're looking at in Texas City. The ceilings are 7'6". I'm like, I think that's 2 inches too small.
Yeah.
I think it's 7'8" is the rule. It's a minimum, right? So we're not going to get that as appraised as conditioned space.
Right. So if you're going to do that, just make sure, and you haven't done that or you've done it wrong in the past, make sure you get a team behind you that lets you know what your coding issues, that you can add this square footage, because if it doesn't count on appraisal, it doesn't count.
Right. Yeah. And the problem here in Texas is we have too many folks with German and Scandinavian backgrounds, so they're not a bunch of mini guineas like us. Hey, 7'6", we're okay with that.
Yeah, we're good.
We're fine with that, right? too many guys brushing their head. So we're seriously looking at that again. We know that California model, so we have our EXP folks now trained to find me 1,000 square foot houses in areas that are appraising at $250 a square foot or above. Mm-hmm. And then I can add on 600 and have a big profit margin right there.
Oh, yeah. I mean, hell, the land size commands it, and you make it look like it's seamless with the house, you're going to get that value.
Yeah, and that's what we're looking to do. So, hey, give them their contact information again.
Go to jetlending.com. You can call or text 281-872-7800. Email info@jetlending. And you know what? Check out our YouTube page, too, for any educational content.
And then on the third Wednesday of every month, you have the Super Investor event?
We do. It's at Stampede, Houston. Mm-hmm. So it's going to be on the 18th. Eddie's going to be talking about his 40 tips and tricks this month. Next month, Dotzer's coming in for his economic overview for the market.
Nice.
And then November will be a heavy landlord event talking about rentals and things like that. So our next 3 events are scheduled every
Fantastic.
third Wednesday. Come check us out. You could actually RSVP on our website.
There you go. Jetlending.com. Hey, we'll be back.
What are you doing after this?
We're checking out a restaurant.
You're going to buy a restaurant?
No. Our business model is shifting. And as we love the mastermind and we love folks around us, it's really, we're doing much better on the syndication and the passive side. So, we got to have a nice restaurant for retirees to come and sit down and have a conversation with an accountant and a financial advisor, and we're seriously concerned about inflation.
Oh, yeah.
We've taken a big hard look at that in the last 14 days, and you can bring us back in. Hey, welcome back. It's Robert here from the world-renowned Mr. Texas Real Estate, Texas Real Estate Radio Network. It's Alex from Jet Lending. Go to jetlending.com. We're talking about their events that they have third Wednesday of every month over at Stampede, and you can check out their event schedule on their website, jetlending.com. So we were just talking that we have big concerns about inflation.
Yeah.
We think anyone who's in a long-term note, like 5 years and beyond, you might lose money. Right? And so you want to keep that sort of stuff to 1 to 3, and we're building our syndications on that model.
Right.
Like, we'll go long-term financing, let someone else deal with inflation versus our investors. And so we need to have a lot more conversations with passive investors than, let's say, new real estate investors who want to learn how to wholesale and flip. So we're going to look at some stuff. So our model's tweaking just a little bit to find more of those folks, because I'll tell you what we've gotten really good at through the School of Hard Knocks and getting our ass kicked for the last 18 months is these little garden style and small apartment structures. We've really figured that out, what numbers we can buy at. We've got the turns really down. We know how to do it. We know how to get in. We understand it. It took me a little bit of time just to sort of get my mind around the mechanical systems in that building, and now I'm like, oh my God, it's so much easier way to do it. I can run a 4-pipe system, which is going to be air conditioning, hot water, and cooling. There's a lot of ways to do it at the B and A level, and at the C level, then we figured it out. So we're getting really good at that. But those syndications, we go to you, and the thing's worth $2.5 million, right? So you're going to give me 70% of that. You're going to give me 1, 4, and 7 of 5. You're going to give me $1.7 million, right? But I still got to close it, and I got other stuff, and I don't want to necessarily pull $600,000 out of my pocket. So I put together a small syndication for $750,000, right? For carry, reserve, all that other stuff. And we raise that money, $50,000 at a time. That's 15 people come in, and then we can close that deal with you, and we get really good at it. And then we raise the cap, and then we can go around and turn around and go get it long-term refied, 25-year AM on a 20-year note or something like that, and it works. The numbers work.
Yeah.
They're working really, really well for us. But there was a lot we had to learn, and we did. So now it's and mostly it was, how do our investors want to get paid? That was a real deal.
I'm sure that every syndicate is going to be a little bit different, or do you guys streamlined it?
Nope, we've completely streamlined it.
Nice.
We just said, we know that 80% of you are looking for X, Y, and Z. This has X, Y, and Z.
Got it.
The 20% of you that are looking for this, we're not offering it.
Right.
Too bad. Like, people are like, we want depreciation. It's like, I'm not going to give you depreciation because in 3 years I'm refining and selling it.
Yeah.
So it doesn't make any sense. You can get a little bit along the way, but we're not going to do an accelerated depreciation where we're going to front load all the depreciation, and then at year 3 we're going to have to pay it all back anyway.
Right.
So we just take what's normally due on it. So so there's a couple people that want to come in all equity and want the depreciation, and we'd rather JV with those folks than put them in a syndication. But anyway, so our model's changing a little bit. We're really trying to find more passive investors.
Well, I like, again, everybody listened to what he said. His model is changing.
Yeah.
Don't do the thing, I've been doing this. One of the things I hate, I've been doing this for 15 years. I was like, okay, well, it ain't 15 years ago.
Right.
Be mobile, be malleable, change with your markets.
Yeah, so we're tweaking a little bit, and we haven't announced anything because we're doing this mastermind special through Labor Day, but we will. You'll see some big announcements from us.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else you can tell them about the market?
I think
What deals are falling through?
falling through.
Not because of you, but because something happened that. What are we finding out? What's the top 3 things that blow up a deal?
One is right now is there seems to be. I mean, the title companies are overwhelmed. And I mean, and it's and we got to listen to what I'm saying. I'm not blaming the title companies. You've got to understand that these people are working so hard, and they're getting such an influx that, and they're dealing. Remember, title companies and lenders and they're dealing with sellers. Okay, the seller has no idea what's going on in real estate, so they're trying to find heirs and clear titles and all this kind of stuff like that. So what I've noticed is that as a buyer, you not understanding your contract is putting your deal at jeopardy, because if title isn't clear, you still was written in the TREC contract that you have X amount of time to review that clear title to push your deal. And then let's say you're supposed to close on the 14th, but title really isn't clear. They just cleared it on the 14th or the 13th, it still buys you time. And then your seller tells you, well, I got this couple that's going to do this. I'm out of this deal. And you don't have the knowledge about your contract. So this was not a title rant. You got to give those people love and props for the work that they do. I'm saying that they are having an onslaught of people that they never really had to deal with, try to clear everything. So you have to be of a sound mind to know what's in your contract to help them out.
So we do a lot of landlords, right? So I always tell folks this. You think that the title person walks in like 9:15, they sit down at their desk, there's a cup of coffee there, they lick their pencil, they kind of get their little finger caught, and they go take your file, and they start going through your file. And I was like, it is nothing like that. No. It's like standing over a table, and they're already on their like 15th cup of coffee, and there's a stack 5 feet high next to their desk, and they're just looking for the highlights. Like, what are the problems? What are the problems?
Right.
What are the problems? And then get it to the next station. Get it to the next station. And we get emails from title people at like 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning, because they're just overwhelmed. It's like, they don't have your job.
No.
They're not coming in at 9 and leaving at 4:45 or leaving at 6 and having some fun in the middle of the day and hang around the cooler or the water. No. They're just completely overwhelmed and freaking out every single day.
Yeah, so really just get in good with your title company, and please help your escrow officers out. It'll really help your deal, because they are really working hard for you. And it's really that for us, that's the only thing that's been pushing closings is they need a clear title. Yeah. So help them out.
We explain to like new landlords, folks are just getting into it. It's like when title calls or the loan officer calls or the agent calls, you stop what you're doing and respond immediately. And they're like, well, I'm at work. I'm like, too bad.
Yeah.
Because here's what's going to happen. They're going to wait about 15 minutes for you to call them back, and then your folder goes to the bottom of the pile. Mm-hmm. And in 3.5 days, you'll get another phone call. And they're like, really? I'm like, really? This is what's happening in this market. It's just too fast.
And it's not that they're doing bad business. It's that they have so many things to do.
Right.
So just please be organized with your team, your lender, your title company, your agent. Just make sure you have a good organization. That's what's really busting deals out. There's so many people buying that the organization is causing issue.
Yeah, that's an excellent point. We had someone one of the top 3 title companies in the country come through here and said, I want that office right there. My problem is I can't find anyone to staff it.
Yeah.
I can't hire anyone. I'm so behind on my hiring. So that's what's going on in that title world. That was an excellent point. I don't think we've talked about that at all this summer. That's really good. So, hey, give me your information again. Let's talk about Super Investor and...
So go to jetlending.com. You can even RSVP and check out what we're doing at the Super Investor meeting at the very top of the page at jetlending.com. You can call or text 281-872-7800 or email info@jetlending.com.
Fantastic. And it's the third Wednesday of every month. It's over in Stampede. We have a table there, so come check us out. I'm normally there. It's the beer and chicken wing, right? Free booze.
And then it's one half is networking, the other half is education.
Yeah.
last event, we actually had 3 people get deals. If you're a wholesaler and agent, bring your deals. If you're an investor, be prepared to talk to people. Don't just go there and be around. Actually talk to people and actually buy real estate.
Yeah, that's the whole point of those events. So,
Yeah.
Hey, guys, thanks again for listening tonight. We're going to be back after this break with a short little announcement, but we appreciate you guys hanging out with us every night. Alex, one last time, jetlending.com. What's the phone number?
281-872-7800.
Thank you. Painless?
Oh, yeah.
Come on upstairs, gentlemen.